What's up, everybody? Welcome to the rLounge. I'm ready to just snap on her. My husband, 33, our daughter, 6, and I, 26, are currently living with his parents in their home due to our house being destroyed by crappy tenants. His parents are 73 years old. His dad is grumpy most of the time, but doesn't cause any issues. His mother, on the other hand, oh my Lanta. This woman likes to do everything around the house, which we are fine with. It takes the stress off us to clean and keep the house up, so we let her do her thing. But Jesus effing Christ, this woman makes no sense and is all a bit too much. When we moved in, we moved our entire house in as well. We packed it up in their garage because we didn't want to rent a storage unit since they had the room. This woman takes it upon herself to go out into the garage and go through our belongings and organize them. Why? We didn't ask you to. There was no reason for it. Just why? Now we can't find half of our crap, and when we ask her where it is, her response is usually, "I didn't touch that," or "I have no idea." On top of that, my husband and I work, but money is tight, and we don't like to splurge on things. For Christmas, he bought me a traveling cup, and that was his only gift to me, so I cherished it, and he knows I love collecting cool cups like it. We tell her, since she does the dishes always, that it cannot be put into the dishwasher, that it has to be hand washed. She says she will. Then I come home and find that exact cup is dented and completely effed up. I start crying because the one thing my husband got for me is now ruined because of her lack of consideration. My husband confronts her about it, and her response, "You should stop buying cups like that." No remorse or apology for it. What the F? She will randomly go into our room when we aren't home and just touch things or move things, and then we can't find them. She's broken countless things of mine, and I'm starting to think, is she mad at me? Does she hate me? Why is she doing these annoying things that nobody has asked her to do? Today I wake up and hear one of my dogs, we have two, barking obnoxiously like he is hurt. I jump out of bed and run to find him. She left him and our other dog outside and then just left. Mind you, there is no fence, so they could have just ran off and gotten killed or something. I have had enough. I'm freaking done. I have never confronted her about crap before, but this is the last straw. My poor innocent dogs were left outside and forgotten with no regard for their safety. They were panting excessively, and one of them ran straight to his water bowl, drank too quickly, and ended up puking. I feel sick to my stomach. I freaking hate her. I don't want to hate her, but she has caused so much stress and anxiety to my husband and I. I'd rather be living in our freaking car than live here much longer. I want to run away and never freaking look back. First response comes from the Bish 85. Dear husband needs to jump on this, and you guys need to book it out of there. Short-term apartments, something. She should not be allowed near your child anymore either, at least not alone. F, that all pissed me off on your behalf. Next comment from Erica Foss, 1987. Reading this, I suspect mother-in-law breaks your things on purpose. Or why does she feel the need to rummage through them? In the garage! Also, she knew how much that travel cup meant to you, and despite your careful instructions, she ruined it. That she didn't apologize or show remorse shows it was deliberate. The OP replies, I'm outside crying in my car because I've just had enough. She gives no F's about what she is doing and has done. Sofa Queen thinks, free is never free. Move. Even if you have to move to a studio apartment for a while, get out and get a storage room for your stuff. I'll bet you can't find stuff because she's thrown it out. Until you leave, put a lock on your door or at the very least a door wedge. When she complains, and she will, tell her that until she can respect your privacy, the door stays locked. The OP replies, I'm such a wreck right now. Hubby and I both have to leave our daughter and dogs with her while we both work at the same time. I'm full of anxiety when I'm not home because I'm worried about them and my belongings. On to the next story. With update, how do I kindly tell her to shut up? Whenever my mother-in-law babysits my son and we FaceTime or call him, she never just lets us talk to him. Granted, he is almost 3, but I will say, hey, can I talk to him? And she will hand him the phone, and I will ask him about his day or what he's doing or if he's being kind, and she will just yell over the phone to answer, or take the phone after a few seconds and interrupt and start talking about other things. And then I will ask to talk to him again, and the process just repeats itself until I can't handle it anymore and just say, we have to go. I'm getting so frustrated. I'm already away from my baby, and even if he doesn't fully answer the question, I just want to hear his voice and him hear mine and get the interaction. I also give her time at the beginning of the call to talk about what's going on and ask her questions to make sure everything is going well. And at the end, I'm always thankful towards her. But I'm at the point where it hurts to even call when we are away because all I want to do is talk to my little man for a few minutes, and it's like dangled in front of me and then taken away, and I never feel okay after the phone call. So how do I say, stop talking so I can talk to my child for 5 minutes without sounding like too much of an a-hole? In my opinion, my mother-in-law is a very emotional person, and if I say things wrong, it just creates drama. Mother-in-law is the only person in my state I will leave him with. We drive 3 hours to even get to her, or if she visits, and we do a date night. She does care for him and treats him really good, and I loved my grandparents and want my son to have that same love for his. When she calls to FaceTime, I try to be a good example and let him have the phone and interact, and only interrupt if she sets the phone down and gets distracted. I know I may sound dramatic, but I'm at the point of not going to weddings, date nights, any sort of trip without him, just because I know while I'm going, I won't be able to interact with my son while we are gone, and it's really eating me. Update. Secret photo shoot. I did talk to her, and it did not go well, so I will quote our message exchange and see how you all feel about it. Me. The leader hosiery pictures are super cute. They are really cute. It's not a big deal, but next time will you let us know? We were both a little caught off guard, but I can send over a couple pics of the ones I like. The one with you and him I love. I hope you get that one. I asked you all at Christmas if I would continue to model things and get friend to take a few shots. She did not ask if she could take photos per my dear husband and mine's knowledge. I will leave it alone. I thought it was a wonderful surprise to make a book, like I did for his first birthday. I never post his pictures. I can't seem to do the right thing. We aren't thinking you can't do anything right. I hope you can work on feeling like that about yourself because that isn't how it's seen at all. We aren't mad or anything like that and think the photos are awesome. Just asking the next time you let us know or remind us. We are more than supportive of the photo shoots and the modeling. We would just like to know. Original post. My mother-in-law just sent me an email of my 2-year-old son at a photo shoot. It was appropriate and done by a professional that she did a few weeks ago while we were out of town and she was babysitting. We had zero idea this happened. She said it was going to be a surprise gift, but all the photos were too cute and she wants help picking them out. Is it just me, or is the comically uncomfortable? First reaction from AITA85. Honestly, it depends. Is she usually a good or bad mother-in-law? Does she usually respect boundaries or is she a stomper? If she is usually pretty good, then she probably thought it would be a lovely surprise for you. Affectionate Froyo70 says, all depends on how she is. Nicest, most supportive, respectful mother-in-law ever? It'd be a nice gesture and gently speak to her if you don't want it done in the future. Boundary stomping? Trying to steal your spotlight and sun and undermine your mother-in-law? Definitely a slap in the face. People without toxic relationships struggle to comprehend this sometimes. My mom is insane. Take something simple like receiving a card from her in the mail. Most people would say, oh, how nice, a card from your mom. However, I cut contact with her 7 years ago and have moved twice since then. A card in the mail from her is her letting me know that she somehow still has my address and is trying to keep some power over me. It's all about perspective. Good luck. On to the next adventure. Anyone have positive mother-in-law experiences after moving out with boyfriend? My boyfriend and I have been together for 3.5 years and will likely be moving into our first place together in the next few months. He moved out about 6 months ago with 2 friends. Mother-in-law is very manipulative to my boyfriend. Everything needs to be her way and nothing is ever good enough. She takes and takes and takes. She has leaned on my boyfriend for emotional support since he was a child. Mother-in-law has never liked me. Boyfriend disagrees. I have never felt accepted by her and it is uncomfortable being around her most of the time. She never asks me about what's going on in my life, doesn't know what I am taking in school, constantly makes comments about my looks. She also believes I am taking her baby away. When he moved out, I was expecting her to stop by his house all the time and all the typical horror stories you hear. This hasn't been the case, possibly because he is living with 2 guys, but instead, she constantly calls and texts him, guilt-tripping him into coming over for dinner. I'm very concerned about moving in together as I cannot deal with the stress and anxiety that I get from her. I will lose it if she keeps up the guilt-tripping and starts stopping by. Does anyone have any stories of things getting better once moved out together? Or just good stories in general? Our first reactions from Pinky Flamingo. You must know, it all depends on how well the boyfriend draws boundaries and defends them. But that said, this is also going to be your home. If you want nobody to have a key, drop by unannounced, etc., you should feel free to set those boundaries and defend them. Interesting Relief 77 chimes in. Sorry to share the cold hard facts, but run for your life. Nothing will change unless he establishes ironclad boundaries. Since he is not aware of her feelings towards you and doesn't have this awareness, it will be even harder for your boyfriend to address this issue. Above all, pray for guidance. No reply 0560 closes us out. My mother-in-law threatens to pull the funds for mine and my fiance's wedding because we wanted to move out. So, I get the whole losing control thing. She dictates everything my fiance and I do. It's frustrating.